Today's My Thoughts Monday is brought to you by GymAware, the leading tool when measuring performance in the weight room. Guys, VBT is all the craze right now. It's a hot, sexy topic, although it's something that's been around for a while. And the man who wrote the book on velocity-based training, Brian Mann, has called the GymAware the Rolls Royce when it comes to velocity measuring devices. Guys, the ability for you to shoot all your information right up into the cloud and store it right away is enough for me right there to make sure that this is something that I had in my weight room. Putting things together with instant feedback as to how the reps are being performed. On top of that, with the x-axis correction, so you don't have to necessarily worry about direct positioning when you're performing the exercises. Tying that in with the visualization of everything and the ability to allow the athletes to compete, make this an absolutely stellar tool and something I couldn't recommend you having in your weight room enough. Hop on over to kinetic.com.au today and see everything that they have to offer. Hey everybody, if you enjoy the podcast and the content it provides, be sure to hop over and check out the community. The community is an exclusive members website that is just an extension of what we do here in July at the Central Virginia Sport Performance Seminar. What it is a combination of video lectures, a coach's corner with your Monday morning take-home information, and a forum where you can talk about anything and everything related to the field of strength and conditioning. In the community, you'll find content added each month from some of the top practitioners in the world, ranging from PhDs to high-level coaches, bringing you exactly what they're doing with their athletes or their research at the present moment. On top of that, an additional discussion by coaches bringing you that Monday morning information, things that you can add to your training program right away. Tying that in with the opportunity to discuss with coaches around the world in the forum on anything and everything from the topics addressed in these presentations to whatever you're seeing in your daily life as a coach. If this sounds like the right thing for you and your staff, go ahead and hop over to cvasps.com/community and try it out for 48 hours for just $1. If you like it, you're signed up, ready to roll, and you're jumping into all the great content added each month. If not, feel free to go ahead and cancel at any time. No questions asked. We're really excited about what we're building in the community and hope you are too. Go ahead and hop over to cvasps.com/community and check it out today. Hey, what's happening, everybody? DeMayo here, coming at you with another My Thoughts Monday as we start rolling into what many people believe to be the best month of the college athletics calendar, and that being March, and everything that's awesome that happens with college basketball. I want to talk a little bit about those athletes and about, what it takes to be a basketball player and some decisions that we've made because of what it takes to be part of the men's basketball program here at this institution. For many of you know, I've been here for a while. This is my 14 full years, starting my 15th as we speak. And, what I've noticed when it comes to responsibilities, when it comes to being an athlete at this institution, is that there's no one that is required more of than the men's basketball program. These guys have, obviously, practice. And then we've got off-season practice in the summer. And that means they're taking a class all year. And they have tutors all year. And they have media responsibilities. They have secondary media opportunities where it's going to meals and doing these things where it's media and fan-related things, community service events, of course, training, both mandatory and non-mandatory. Well, I go through all of that, not to be like, woe is me, look at all this stuff that's so difficult and challenging for these young men to deal with, because, sure, it is. They've got a lot on their plates. They've got a lot to do. But it's not. I don't think it overdoes it. Now, I want to go back a few episodes in the podcast and look at what Mike said, which is 100% true. He said, if all you're doing is just what we're asking you to do, then you're doing what everyone else is doing. How do you expect to move forward if you're doing what everyone else is doing? He's right. And we all ask our guys to do more, right? Get in the gym and take extra shots. Find a coach and do extra skill work if you can. Get in the weight room and do extra stuff with this, that, or the other thing. Well, I want to talk about the third point. Contrary to popular belief, a lot of basketball players really don't love the weight room. I know that that's going to strike you guys as some absolutely mind-bending thoughts. But a lot of these guys who are super tall and super long are not super fans of lifting the weights. So let's talk about what the new sexy topic is that everybody likes to talk about, and that's buy-in. What we have done with our young men here at our institution is anything that we ask them to do extra, we do with them. And by we, I mean me, I mean my assistant, I mean assistant coaches, I mean directors of operations. Everyone's invited. Everyone's involved. When we did yoga as an extra modality this summer, there were times where we would have 5 of the 7 staff members, myself and my assistant, in there with the guys. When we're doing extra workouts, so we had guys who talked about they needed to do extra stuff to get in better shape. So we did some different stuff. We went to spin classes down in Short Pump here at Flow Bike Studio once a week. Myself, our assistant coach, and at least one director of operations were in every class with these 6 guys. When there was extra lifts or there's extra lifts through the season, like for the guys that don't play, we have our mandatory lifts that they do, right? Our developmental squad lifts. But then on game days, we've got the arm farm, man. You guys want to come in and do some extra arm work? Cool. Let's put it together. And I'm hopping in with them. And sometimes on the road, we have an assistant coach and the director of ops. And sometimes even our athletic trainer jumps in with them. Well, why do we do this? We do this because we ask so much of them to begin with that we want them to know that we are in there with them. We want them to know that we are there to be there for them and that we are there grinding it out with them. We have had some exceptional buy-in to that, to the point where we had the 2 players who sat out most of last year say they wouldn't have come as far as they did if I wasn't jumping in the extra workouts with them, if one of the coaches wasn't jumping in the extra workouts with them, if one of the directors of operations weren't jumping in the extra workouts with them. They love that because they know that we're in there grinding with them. So it helps them to push even further and push harder than they would have before. Now, I'm going to tell you that to tell you this. Sitting down with some coaches this summer and telling them about this, I was told that coaches that work out with their athletes are doing nothing more than trying to grab attention. Part of me understands that take. Part of me understands where this person was coming from. Part of me also says, you don't know my relationship with my guys, and I don't know your relationship with your guys, so I don't know if you can say that. I'm not in there on our prescribed lifting days, lifting with them. I'm coaching. I'm teaching. I'm communicating. I'm working with them. What I am trying to do is get these extra workouts to have a little more oomph, to have a little more pop, for them to be excited to do more. Because again, like Mike said, if all we're doing is what we're being asked to do, we're doing the same as everybody else. Again, we've had great success with them being more excited for these workouts, having more ownership of these workouts, wanting to do all of these extra workouts because of this. Brett made buy-in kind of a sexy, controversial term, but it's something that we've all been working towards more and more for our entire careers. I think he breaks it down great when he talks about when we were young coaches, we all like to use these big terms and throw all these things out and blah, 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 because we're insecure about things. I know this worked for my guys. I know this worked for some of my female athletes that would come in and want to do extra, and I would jump in and condition with them. Because let's be honest, if you're coming in because you need extra fitness work and you're doing cardiac output or low-level threshold intervals, dude, that's boring. Like, no one wants to do that by themselves. So when you can be there with the kid next to him doing it, it's extra. Who cares? If your extra work is going to be so invasive and so taxing that it's going to ruin the rest of the week, then what are you programming anyway, right? Extra workouts, the first time I heard about it was when I was taught about Louis Simmons, right? And all the extra stuff that they do. None of their extra workouts interfere with any of the stuff that they do. And he's dealing with the strongest people in the world. So why would an extra workout that a strength coach has prescribed ruin the rest of the week? You should be able to get more out of them because of these extra workouts. And if you can get more out of the extra workouts by jumping in next to the kid and helping them get through it, then I think it's a pretty solid strategy. Now, obviously, right now, I'm limited with my ability to be involved in extra workouts. When you only have one leg and you can't put that foot down, shit happens. But I'm still in the gym. I'm still rooting these guys on during the arm farm. When I get out into the gym today on the road, we're going to arm farm it. And these guys are going to get after it. And they're going to love it because they've bought into the program and because they've had fun with the whole situation. So, this might be something that would work for you. You might think that I'm completely full of shit and this is a terrible idea and it should never happen. And that's fine too, man. I don't care. But I'm telling you, this had some really good success with our kids when it came to them being more involved, more inclined to do extra, and really just more excited for everything that we were doing. So maybe this summer in these off seasons, when you have kids that ask to do extra stuff, maybe you hop in next to them so that they know that you're willing to go the extra mile with them, not just show up and open the door when they want to do more work.